Hey FineGap viewers, welcome to part 3 of our discourse. To receive accurate and helpful responses from ChatGPT, provide context, such as specific details about the job, technology stack that is used, and expertise required. A clear prompt is essential, and ChatGPT can even be asked to write code for how to create a custom post type in WordPress using PHP. If you ever feel slow response from ChatGPT, this is maybe due to high demand for AI's resources. Let's just start with an example here. For example, I will type, what are some sample interview questions for a software engineering job? Let me press enter, and here you can see that it is answering me that technical questions, explain the difference between procedural and object-oriented programming, what are benefits of using version control system, and how do you optimize the performance of a web application, what is the importance of testing in software development, and this type of stuff. Problem solving questions, and like write an algorithm to detect a cycle in a direct graph. Given an array of integers, find two numbers that add up to specific target sum. And next he has some behavioral questions, that how do you prioritize tasks when working with multiple projects simultaneously, and how do you handle stress and pressure in fast-paced work environment, and how do you approach working with a team of diverse individuals with varying skills level and backgrounds. So obviously it have provided me some questions if we want to take interview of a software engineering job. But the prompt that we have right here is very general. Which software engineering job? There are dozens of types of software engineering job. Are you hiring a machine learning engineer, AI engineer, WordPress developer, merge stack developer, Python developer? Which type of software engineering you are hiring? So this is more important to provide context here to get accurate results. Now let me tell you that how we will write this prompt as a detailed and context-oriented prompt. So now I will write here another prompt like, you are a software engineering manager at startup called Duggar. Obviously, maybe this will not be a startup, but we're just assigning a role and we specify that you are a manager of this startup and you're a software engineering manager. Your engineering stack is built on like Python, Django, and JavaScript, React.js. You are interviewing me. What do you ask me? You can provide roles to ChatGPT, like if you are a person of marketing, you can provide that you are a SEO expert, and you can provide detailed context like this. In my case, before this we were just asking that ask me just questions related to software engineering, but now we have specified that our technology stack is built on Python and JavaScript, and now you are interviewing me. So it means that now ChatGPT will specifies its prompts around these two technologies. And obviously we have provided the context that you are a software engineering manager. For example, if we will say that you are a security guard at this company, then obviously this ChatGPT will not going to ask us some technology questions, because security guard did not know about that. But now currently we have this prompt. Let me click here to get response. Okay, now you can see that technical questions. Can you explain MVC, model view controller architecture, and how it applies to web development using Django and React.js? How do you handle state management in React.js applications? Can you explain the concept of virtual DOM in React.js? Explain the role of RESTful APIs in communication between the Django backend and React.js frontend. Now you can see that it is asking me the questions related to stack that I have provided to him. Obviously, in problem solving, it is also keep in mind that Django and React.js, if you are not a developer, maybe you will face some difficulties to understand this, but if you are a developer, obviously you will understanding what ChatGPT is asking me. Given a task to implement user authentication using JWT, JSON Web Tokens, and behavioral questions. Here we have some behavioral questions. Okay, now let me again provide more context from here. Let me copy this from here and Now I will type here, dive more into the RESTful APIs in communicating between the Django, ask more. So now you can see that again the context is now more detail oriented, stack oriented, and the questions are changed. Let me read one question, like how do you handle different HTTP methods, get, post, put, delete in the Django views to perform current operation via RESTful APIs. So here you can see that all these questions it have answered me related to REST APIs context. If I summarize, if someone asks me to explain what is prompt engineering in one line, then I will must answer this question in such a way that provide more and accurate context according to your problem to get right answers. Recently, I was talking with a person on LinkedIn and he says that these AI tools perform very illogic results. And I answered him that if you are not going to learn prompt engineering, obviously you are going to face that. But if you will provide context, learn prompt engineering, these AI tools are very helpful and work as an assistant to improve your productivity. Now let me type here another prompt like answer the first 3 questions perfectly, convey that I am detailed oriented, driven engineer with a vast GitHub commit history. Give the sense that I am expert at scaling web applications much better than everyone else. Here you can see we can just write these texts that answer the first 3 questions perfectly. Obviously ChatGPT is going to answer us. But now we have provided some context that I am a detailed oriented driven engineer, and I also have told my expertise that I have vast GitHub commit history. So now answer will be in such a way that ChatGPT, for example, is explaining to an expert developer. Okay, let me click here and technical questions. The first question was, can you explain the principles of RESTful API design and how they apply to building APIs in Django? Certainly, RESTful API design resolved around leveraging HTTP methods and blah, blah, blah. Okay, you can see that, friends. It is answering me our questions. This was the second question and now this was the third question, and it is the answer of this question. So friends, this was the point that how you can ask questions to ChatGPT by providing context to get more accurate and detailed answers. If you have any question, you can ask us in the comment section. We will try to answer your question. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel for our regular videos. And finally, thanks for watching.